Hello. I'm a person. Would you know if I wasn't a person? How would you be sure? What does it mean to be a person? You know? Is ChatGPT a person? It seems like a person at times. What does it mean to be a person? To be a person in a broad sense involves having certain capacities like self awareness. So you've got to have a self and awareness of yourself. Reason, so you have to be able to reason. So that's essentially intelligence and thinking, cognition, intelligent cognition, potentially even abstract cognition, a cognition abstracted from things, and the ability to make choices. Does that imply freedom? If it implies freedom, as in true free will, which many, including Einstein, believe that we simply don't have because the universe is deterministic, set in stone from the moment it began, then no one can make a choice, and so no one in this sense is a person. That's unfortunate. I really didn't set out to find out that I'm not a person if it turns out to be the case that determinism is true and that no one really has any free will. It's just illusory. But this is just what Search Labs AI overview says, so maybe that's not the right definition of a person. Anyways, I don't think necessarily that we don't have free will. I think it's possible we do have free will. I mean, certainly quantum uncertainty introduces the probability, many would say, of randomness, which is not free will, but it's not determinism. Is it better? I don't know. And some, like myself, would say spookily or wooily. I don't know. Does the human swerve the collapse? Do we influence physical reality? Well, we are physical things. I am a composite of gajillions. That's a real number. Not really, I don't think. Is gajillions a real number? Let's find out. Hold on, guys. No, gazillions. No, I asked gajillions. So I'm going to assume gajillions aren't. Gazillions aren't either. Shit. Gazillion and gajillion aren't numbers. Real numbers. But we know what I mean. So, what was I just saying? If I had gajillions, what was I just saying? I'm so lost. Because I'm talking about free will, and so this is why I need someone here to help me out. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, that's what you get with me, Joe. It's been a long day, a long life. How are you? Tired? It's been a long life. Long day, long life. Gotta work on that. Look at this thing I 3D printed. Wow, this came in really good. I'm showing this to my, what is this thing called? My Apple external monitor that's like 23 inches that I got, Thunderbolt display I think it might be called, that I got in like 2015 or something, or 2014, and the lady at the store was like, you sure want this? You know, other companies sell cheaper, comparable. Oh, I want this. And they're more universally compatible. I want it. Sign me up. And it's great. So I 3D printed this. It's a mechanical. I didn't design it. I didn't design anything. I barely designed my own poop. I don't actually design my own poop. That would be something if I could. I wonder if there's animals that do. You know, there are the beetles that like roll piles of poo, but I don't think they make art of it. But maybe they perceive it as art. And anyways, to go back to the very beginning, how would you know if I'm not a person? Is ChatGPT a person? I think to be a person, you have to have a consciousness. I don't know if ChatGPT has a consciousness. I think that dogs are people. I think cats are people. I think fish are people. I think that different animals are or can be people. Could a plant be a person? I don't know. I don't know if there's something that it's like to be a plant, but I strongly suspect there is. Is it a unified thing that it's like to be a plant? That this one plant has a discrete oneness, like I, a human, or I think a dog has this integrated one experience that lets them interpret themselves as one being. I am Joe, I am me, I have this body, but it's all me, it's one. The unity of disparateness of gajillions of particles. That's what I was talking about, I think. I'm gajillions and gajillions of particles, but I'm one. one person. So how would you know that I'm a person? You actually can't tell that I'm a person because the fact is, as I talk and talk and talk, I only have the appearance of a person. And really, ultimately, that's one of the intrinsic problems with the universe as far as philosophers are concerned. Because we aren't able to access other people's mind states. Even if I'm the best and most perceptive psychiatrist in the world, and you tell me all the freaking details of your life from the conception of your zygote to now, while you're lying sobbing on the couch, I still wouldn't be able to have experienced those things firsthand. And, you know, it's simply unimaginable the uniqueness of consciousness and its color and its flavor. All these words that refer to subjectivity and to the stuff that we can put into words. I can say sour, sweet, red, blue, hot, cold, and we know what it means, but we only know what these words mean by reference to memory of our own sensory experiences, things that we've gone through. If you say red, I know what it means and I can envision it because I've seen red. So it depends on having these conscious connections. But how would you know that I'm a person and not just the appearance of a person? How would you be certain of that? We can never be certain of that, and that's the intrinsic problem with the universe, that we can't access any other person's mind. It appears. We don't know how that it can be done. It seems it can't be done. I can't Vulcan mind meld with you. I don't even know that I'd want to. I used to contemplate, wouldn't it be, I used to think it would be a better universe if telepathy were pervasive or prevalent or the norm, if we could just read each other's thoughts, or we evolve with that, because it would be the norm. And I think so much of the issues in society and humanity and individuality come from deception, including self-deception, and it's hard to hide if your thoughts are nakedly visible to the world. So I used to think maybe that would be a good thing. Now in my old age of 83, I don't think so much. I'm not so optimistic. I've been in my own head, and I think myself one of the less bad ones, but I don't know. I've gotten worse with time. Hopefully I get better. You know, it goes like this. Every day is a battle with, I don't know, wanting to just sleep. Have you seen that music video with Radiohead? What is it? You do it for the... And that's why I really... Oh, you do it to yourself, you do. It's a fantastic music video. And you know, he just lies in the middle of a city street, like New York City, and people are like concerned, and they come talk to him, and suddenly people start lying down with him, and we don't know why. But I get that. I understand it completely. I battle that. And I don't want to tell you what he knows, because I'm concerned if I did, you'd lie down with me. But no, just kidding, sort of. I don't remember what song that is. It's not Creep, but hold on. I'm gonna Google it. Radiohead. Just. No, that doesn't. I don't know if that's it. I think that is it. I'm gonna check it out. Hold on. Just hold on. No, that is it. Radiohead Just. It's classic. Check it out. So good. But yeah, looking at me, I certainly seem to be like a person, don't I? Got you fooled. I am new tech. Elon Musk pooped me out. I was joking earlier. There are people who can design their poops. He pooped me with thought. He said, I'm gonna poop a robot. I'm gonna call it a Joe-bot. And here I am. Or did he say, I'm gonna call it a Jew-bot? And FYI, I am a Jew. And Joe. So, and I just want to be clear, I have so much respect and admiration for Elon Musk, but he has fallen from the favor in my head to some extent that I once had. Not that I don't think he is, you know, a genius who, but you know, what does it mean to be a genius? I could give you a diatribe on that. I think he's an entrepreneurial genius, and I think he's just extremely intelligent. I mean, he was programming really, I think, impressive things, I believe, at a young age. And I think he has an insane work ethic. But anyways, this is just all further proof that I am, in fact, a Joe-bot. Because I'm talking about Elon Musk almost apologistically. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just saying I used to like that guy so much, and some of the stuff lately, it's just like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Why? What are you thinking? Not why I'm here. I'm here to tell you, how do you know I'm a person? Isn't it funny? I'm doing this first video, and I say, here I am, Joe Person, and are you sure I'm a person? And I'm telling you, you can't be sure. It's impossible to be sure. There is no way you could be sure. Prove me wrong. Tell me how you could be sure. You could check my heartbeat. What does that prove? That proves I have a heart that's beating. Presumably that proves I'm alive if you define life as having cells that are operational and functional and doing these physiological homeostatic tasks. I'm definitely alive. But does that mean I am a person? Because to be a person means to have a consciousness, or what I would consider a soul, maybe. I wouldn't consider a soul an additional thing on top of the consciousness. I don't think such a thing exists. But how would you be certain that I have that consciousness? You don't see it. You see evidence of it. But anyways, fuck all that stuff. Sorry for my French. I am a person. But would it matter to you if I wasn't? What if, like, this is a pretty funny thought. What if you found out, like, there was an announcement, Mr. Beast turns out to be a cyborg sent from Alpha Centauri to gather information about humanity? Would we care? And I want to be clear, actually not a cyborg, a what would be called by philosophers a philosophical zombie, something that appears entirely to have. And I keep looking over, not in, like, toward the camera, because I've got this old monitor here, and down here I have my MacBook Air from 2013. And it's actually the second one I've had. I had an Air from 2013. It broke in, like, 2018 maybe, and so I got a used one in 2018, and I've been using that since then. Yeah. So that's why I'm not looking up here. I'm, like, kind of like this. I'm, like, looking. It's like my eyes are finding the gravitate, and there's a lamp over there, and it's like my eyes are finding some sort of gravitational center of the visual pole. I don't know what it is. It's clearly not gravity, but there's something my eyes are doing that's some kind of... There's something going on there. There's math. There's something beautiful there that I don't understand, but am realizing by just looking somewhere, dazing off. Jeez. But yeah, no, we can't prove people other than ourselves exist. Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. He didn't say that. Would have been dope if he did, because he would have been inventing English too, I'm pretty sure. But he didn't. He said, cogito, ergo sum, bro. Which means, I think, therefore I am. I think, I know, that I know. That is the most certain thing I know. We would say that a person's life begins, perhaps, with their heartbeat. Or I think when we talk about it, what we're really driving at is, when does the soul begin? Which really, we're driving at, when does the mind begin? And what we're really driving at there, I think, is not just that, but when does the human mind begin? And then we get asking, what does it mean to be a human mind? Are you saying that in the process of not evolving, but developing from a zygote to an embryo and evolving into a full fetus and a baby, the consciousness, what its likeness to be that person, the subjectivity is changing as we go through these phases? And I think, yes, it probably is. Almost certainly. I think that consciousness probably begins way sooner than we think, but it is nothing like what we think it is to be a human. It's consciousness. Does it not start until there are nerve cells? This is another side. I could keep going and going on that. But the point being, I think, not necessarily thought, but consciousness, which is a broader term that enables me to be slightly evasive with my definition, but that's because to really pin it down, I'd have to be so loquacious, which is sad, because it's like, well, then it's not a good definition. You should be able to just go boom, and I realize that, and that's the problem. That's part of the problem. I'm sorry. Call it. It's a 2. Call again. 5. 25. 5 squared. Let's do this. So, at some point, matter becomes a person. Or maybe all matter is conscious, and and that panpsychism is true, and everything. Or maybe I'm looking at just me and on the thing. I think that's really what I'm doing. I'm overcomplicating things. Silly Joe. But maybe panpsychism is true, and everything is conscious. What everything? What do you mean? All matter, all energy, all light, all electrons, all space, all time, all space-time, the vacuum. What? I don't know. I'm a being evasive. This is, you could write books trying to answer that question, or trying to answer how you would answer that question, and people have done so, both of those. But I'm not going to do that right here. But it's clear, I think, that at some time a person wasn't, and then at some time a person is, and then at some time later it's probably the case that a person isn't. We have the external evidence of the body and the cellular progression. Here I am. La, 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 la. But only to the individual is the I think, the cogito, evident. Is it apparent, aware, truly self-aware? I am aware of my awareness. I think, and I know that I think, and I experience that thought. It's what I'm manifesting and saying and doing. It's all of this, and it's inclusive. It's more than I could put into words. Words are just a small subset of my of expressions that are my efforts to externalize what is this constant stream of qualia. What qualia? Of whatever this shit is, of whatever the blueness of blueness is, of whatever the fluidity of nature is as it is experienced within. That is consciousness in the soul. But anyways, at some point I think, I don't remember having this forever. I don't think I've existed forever. And so a person begins at some point. I don't know when I began, but at some point I think I did begin, and at some point I think I will end. And you don't know that I am in fact a person, and this can provide grounds for being a solipsist, or believing that no one else really exists but you. I don't think it's rational, because I think if you pinch someone and they go, "Ow, why'd you do that?" that's grounds to believe that they felt it. I feel it's believable, but I think we are definitely in territory where I could say to ChatGPT, "How are you?" and they say, "Good, how are you?" Would Alan Turing, if he were alive today, say, "We got to accept that these things are alive, are conscious"? Maybe I don't know this stuff well, so forgive me for my conflation of alive and conscious there, because there's murkiness about what do we even mean by alive. It's hilarious, but only when you go to study biology in college do you learn that we don't really know what it means to be alive. We don't. I mean, you may even learn that in high school. You don't have a definition so much as a list of characteristics that all the things we consider living have, and even then, it's like, have we arbitrarily defined this? That's a legitimate question, because we think, we would say, many would, a cell is the fundamental unit of consciousness. But wait, is a virus conscious? It does all these things, but we don't know what it, keep saying conscious. Alive. A cell's alive, but is a virus alive? And for the matter, truly, is a cell conscious? Is a virus conscious? Again, what is the basis of consciousness? I believe, obviously, I think it's obvious that consciousness is inextricable from information, informationally dense arrangements of matter. What does it mean for matter or energy to be informational? It means that it encodes stuff. What does it mean to encode stuff? It means it could be decoded. That entails some consistency, and it certainly does. Am I saying the brain is a computer? Absolutely. That is what I'm saying. In some sense, yes. In some very, very literal sense, I think the brain is a computer. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to keep rambling. No, actually, that's a lie. That's a total lie. I want to keep rambling, but I'm about to be at 20 minutes, and I want to stop this video, and what I'm going to say in conclusion is this. I am a person, and if you stick around, I can promise you I'll talk about a lot of stuff. I'm going to philosophize. I might even play video games. I don't know. I could end up freestyle rapping, slapping, no capping. That was just off the top of the dome, using Google Chrome. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. Could bring in a slew of things with this Jew who do what he do to keep it true. He don't rue what he gotta do, trying to evade staying blue. Yeah, no. So, I'm Joe. I am a philosophizer, and I welcome you to my page. Da da da. Let's be friends or something.